Axis and Allies D-Day. Okay, if you know my videos is quick, fast. I'm not going to go to every basic point of the game, but this is a good game to learn Axis and Allies. It's a great beginner edition. If you're thinking about Axis and Allies and maybe possibly getting a game or two, this is the first one you need to get. It's very easy to learn. Basically it's card driven. Tells you what to do at every phase of the game. We're going to go through those cards. Basically, if you're a fan of Axis and Allies, the only thing new in this game is pillboxes. Basically, they represent bunkers on the coastline. This is a map of France. Way to win with the Allies, you got to take over these 3 cities. Okay, you only have 10 turns to do this in. As there's 16 cards that you go through. Once you get done with the 16 cards, you do the last one. That's the end of turn 1. And you would basically do the cards again, over and over and over until you get to turn 10, and hopefully the Allies own all 3 cities at that point. The best way to go through this game and explain it is to go through the cards. So that's what we'll do. Basic setup, like I said, this is France. You got Germany, with a lot of troops here. The Allies are coming on shore. And they have planes, and they have airborne troops that they have dropped off behind enemy lines to represent what happened in history. So the first card, you're only going to play this card on turn 1, and then you get rid of it. Airborne assault. So basically the Allies would get to attack in these zones where they dropped off troops. This is not like other Axis and Allied games where you keep rolling until there's no units left. You only get 1 round of combat. So, say we both kill an infantry in this zone, or actually I wouldn't even be able to attack back. So, at this point. So the Allies, let's say they kill 1 man. Well, there's 2 pillboxes left. When they come to their movement phase, they're not going to be able to move out of the zone. You got to totally clear it of enemy units before you can move out of it. Basically, it locks them up in combat, which is good for the Axis player because you're trying to slow down the Allies till turn 10 to own these cities. Another thing, like a pillbox is something different, is the Axis, these artillery pieces, they represent AA guns as well. So you'd use those to shoot down aircraft. Okay. Second card. Naval bombardment. Basically, this represents battleships, cruisers, destroyers that were out at sea when the Allies landed. Basically, they were going to roll some dice, and they try to kill some of these pillboxes, and you get to pick which pillboxes you want to kill when you do that. It's a very powerful card, actually. I play Axis a lot, and I hate that card. Okay, card 3, I'm sorry. Fighters Patrol. Basically, the airplanes in this game are totally different. The fighters basically try to prevent or slow down movement. So basically let's say you really don't want these 2 infantry to make it up here to the coast. So you would put a fighter here and a fighter here. And let's say you don't want this tank to move, so you put a couple fighters there. So basically what this means is during the Axis movement, if I move this tank out, you get 2 shots with both fighters to try to destroy it. And with these infantry, if I move into a zone that has a fighter, you would get to shoot at it. No matter what the land unit is, you would get to shoot at it. Okay? And they would stay out there this whole turn where you put them. They stay in that zone. Now the next card says if you put any in with AA guns, I get to fire with the Axis. So let's say you put one there with one of my AA guns, I would get to shoot at it. But in this game, the Allies only get 4 fighters for America, 4 for British. Once you lose them, they are gone. You do not get them again, so you really want to be careful with them. As the game goes on, you might want to risk losing them because you only have a certain amount of turns to win the game. But at first, you do not want to lose fighters early in the game. It will really mess you up. Okay, next card, Bomber Strike. Basically, you would put your bombers out, and they get to attack, like any other Axis and Allied games. The only difference is you cannot put them in a zone that has Allied troops. because it represents World War II bombers. You know, this is World War II game. They did carpet bombing. So there's really no control over where the bombs went. So it makes sense that you can't bomb a zone that has your troops in it. Okay? Basically, same thing with the fighters. I get to shoot at it if you put them in a zone that has an AA gun. Okay, next card, card 7, the bombers return. Like I said, this is a card-driven game, very easy. The cards are going to tell you exactly what to do. If you don't understand the card, you go to the manual. It's very easy to learn. Card 8, allies move. Basically, on the first turn, you're not going to have any movement. Like I said, you're locked in combat in these certain zones unless you got really lucky and totally wiped out the Axis units, and then you can move when you're by yourself in that zone. Okay? You cannot move the guys at sea yet because they have not officially landed yet. Okay? So, next card, number 9, the Axis finally get to do something. It's the pillboxes, or they call them blockhouses. The pillboxes get to attack out at sea, so basically it represents these pillboxes shooting at these units trying to land on the beach, which is, you know, very good because they're actually quite strong. I think they hit on a 3 or less. They're like tanks. They get a lot of hits, and it's very good to get a lot of hits to kill a lot of these troops coming ashore. Okay, and that's hence why you want to get good bombardment with the allies, because you're trying to knock those pillboxes out because they're so strong shooting at troops that are landing. Okay, card 10, allies land. So now you would move all your guys where the arrows point and what beaches they go to. Okay, then the allies attack. So every zone that has enemy units with your units, you roll out those attacks. Okay. Then, finally, card 12, the Axis get to move. They would get to move, and basically, you know, it's common sense stuff. Then the Axis would get to attack, is the next card. Okay, same thing. If you have any enemy units in a zone that you're in, you have to attack. You don't have the choice of not attacking. You have to attack. Okay. Allies get reinforcements. Basically, there's these reinforcements charts, and you'll get one for America and one for the British. Basically, you would roll 2 dice, and that's how many units you get. So let's say you got really lucky and got a 10 on 2, 6D dice. You would get 10 new units. So basically, you get on this chart, and then some of them tell you what actual beaches they have to come out on. Like this says Oklahoma Beach only, Omaha Beach only, any U.S. beach. So basically, as you go down the list, you'll see where they have to land. Same with the British. Okay. Then the Axis gets their reinforcements. Same deal. You roll to see how many you get. And basically, they get reinforcements coming out here in the south in certain cities, and you have to put them where they come from. Okay. But with the Axis, you roll 2 dice for this side of the chart and then 2 dice for this side of the chart. So you actually get the same amount. So basically the Allies will get 4 dice of reinforcements, and so will the Axis. So it's pretty even. It just depends if you're rolling good or not. And then the fighters return. Okay, so you would put them back off board. And that's the 16 cards. Boom, into turn 1, you go to turn 2, and you start all over again. Good thing about this game is once you feel like you have mastered this game, it comes with 2 more decks of cards that you add in with these cards, and it gives you a lot of other options. I believe there's like some surprise attacks, night fighting, and stuff like that. And it really changes the game and gives it more depth, which is nice once you feel like you've mastered this part of it. But like I said, this is a very easy game to learn. I would get it as the first Axis and Ally game. If you're thinking about getting Axis and Ally games, this should be the first one. It's very basic, very easy, card driven, tells you everything to do in what order. Very easy game. It's a good game for beginners, good game for kids, because you don't have to involve what you should buy and where you should put them and stuff like that. These cards are going to tell you everything to do, so there's not too much strategy going on. So it's very good for kids. It says 12 and up, but I have a 10-year-old that plays with me the other Axis and Ally games, and he is really good at this because it doesn't require so much strategy. Anyway, see you later.